Good morning. How the devil are you doing this fine day? Me? Well, I'm very glad it's Friday. It's nearly a week since I left Munich, and I'm still feeling the after effects of Bauma 2022. However, it was a price worth paying as we captured some terrific content, saw some amazing equipment, and we met some terrific people as well. And we'll be featuring just some of that a little later in the show. Now, speaking of Bauma, I just want to give you a little bit of context for our question of the day for today. I have now had almost a week to reflect upon everything that I saw, everything that I heard, and everything that I learned last week. And unless my brain is deceiving me, there appears to be some important information missing. I heard a lot about safety. I heard a lot about technology, and I heard about machines that variously run on electricity, hydrogen, or the tiers of environmental preservationists. But I don't remember having a single conversation in which the amount of material that could be moved was given any degree of importance whatsoever. It's a bit like these TV ads for smartphones that focus on the phone's ability to shoot cinematic video, remove people from high quality photographs, or fold in half. Yet no one ever seems to mention what was once the phone's primary purpose: making and receiving phone calls. Now you have some context. Let me roll the intro, post the question of the day, which relates to all of that I've just been babbling on about, and get this show on the road. Welcome to the Breakfast Show. I'm your host, Mark Anthony. It is Friday. Thank God it's Friday. Friday, the 4th of November. And as that remarkably persistent guy just said, welcome to the Breakfast Show. I am your host, Mark Anthony. In today's show, we speak to Timo Westweber of KTEG, currently one of the most exciting brands in the demolition equipment arena. Daharco sets a new standard in low energy and low water consumption dust suppression. Alza goes electric. We look at the specific challenges of offshore demolition with the fine folks at AF Gruppen. That used to be AFDcom, for those that remember. We'll bring you the Jibby, an all-electric access platform from Albacrola over in Italy. And plus, as it's a Friday, we have managed to get hold of the blooper reel from Yanmar's Bauma video shoots, and we'll get to all of that in just a second. But first, let's see who among the rich and the shameless will be celebrating a birthday on this day of days. Happy birthday! And it's many happy returns to American news anchor Walter Cronkite and to Chris Difford from Squeeze. That's one half of probably the most underrated songwriting duo in the music business. Happy birthday also to Pretenders guitarist James Honeyman Scott, to actor Matthew McConaughey, rapper P. Diddy, and to Portuguese football legend Luis Figo. Many happy returns to them, one and all. I will remember Bauma 2022 for the big equipment, for the innovation, and for the dawning of the electric and hydrogen revolution. But most of all, I will remember it for the conversations with some really smart and really insightful people. We've already brought you one of those conversations in our chat with Senebogen's Alexander Sturm. I think that was on yesterday's show. And we're about to bring you another. This time we're speaking with Timo Westweber of KTEG. And the timing of this conversation really couldn't be any better. KTEG already has a growing reputation for its Hitachi-based demolition machines. And that reputation is set to grow still further with the launch of a brand new offering.
So the KMC 750S is our latest machine. It's closing the gap in our demolition portfolio between 30 meters and the 50 meters. So it's able to carry up to 40 meters with a 3-ton tool. And there are in total 5 different boom systems available. So we are using the upper structure of the Hitachi, and then you already see the HD undercarriage, hydraulically extendable, and furthermore then we have an increased counterweight, of course, to be stable, and everything beginning with the boom is also KTEG conversion, so the hydraulic locking system for the boom, that's of course the S system, and on top you have the 3 boom cylinders, the so-called 3-tech system, which is unique at K-Tech. Right over there, you see the ZX400MC, and that's nothing different than a KMC 400P. So Hitachi is standing that strong behind us that they label our machines as theirs. K-Tech, we have the widest range of high-reach demolition machines. We begin at a KMC 340 with 18-meter high reach, and we go upwards to the KMC 1600S, which has a 16-meter tailor high reach boom, and which has an operation weight of around 250 ton. So you will find the right machine definitely at K-Tech for any building you want to demolish. And of course, we have a lot of experience. So we are in this market for more than 20 years now with our multi-carriers, and we are constantly enlarging our portfolio. As I said, with the 750S, we closed one of the last gaps. And yeah, you can rely on the Hitachi quality, of course. So everything in the upper is still Hitachi, and Hitachi is standing for reliability. And this in combination with our engineering power, what has the experience of more than 20 years, you get the perfect machine.
It's an interesting one, that. Before I say anything else, I will point out that I'm a huge fan of all the work that Kokurik do. But Kokurik, the way that Kokurik work here in the UK is that they take a customer's machine, be it a Cat, a Volvo, a Liebherr, a Komatsu, Hitachi, and they convert it for high-reach demolition works. Because of their relationship with Hitachi, K-Tech only do Hitachi. As a result of that, the machines that they're producing are seamless. You literally can't tell where Hitachi stops and K-Tech begins. And another point that our friend Steve Williamson has said, the Hitachi duct that was there with a third ramp for lifting, I think it was 18 tons, can't remember, was a beast. Yet, again, there are some really remarkable machines coming out of K-Tech. And I think probably the ultimate praise, I guess, for these K-Tech machines is the fact that they have been, up until now, they have taken Hitachi machines and made them K-Tech. There was one machine on that stand, and if you watch the longer version of the video, and I'll come back to that in just a second, if you watch the longer version of that, there is now a Hitachi machine that is actually a K-Tech machine that is branded as Hitachi. That's pretty high praise indeed. Just as a small aside, does anybody else think that Timo looks a bit like a young Keanu Reeves? Just me? Okay. As I said, that is part of a longer video interview with my new friend Timo. If you'd like to watch the whole thing, you can hop on over to our YouTube channel, where as of first thing this morning, we now have 13,000 subscribers. Well, it was yesterday, actually, 13,000 and some subscribers. Go take a look. I think you'll be mightily impressed.
The Miller GT series heralds a new era of unrivaled power and cutting-edge intelligent coupler technology, increasing job site safety, machine versatility, and productivity. It's the added versatility that you need at the value you can afford. To find out more, visit millergroundbreaking.com.
If you still have a question mark about the viability of electric power construction equipment, then the content of this show over the past week or so will have infuriated you still further. But the truth is that Bauma was brimming with electric equipment, and as such, it is our duty to cover it. And so it's time for a quick stop by the Alsa stand. And we'll be back with more electric equipment right after this.
Since the finance bill came into effect in April, the construction industry has seen a surge of fuel thefts. The rising cost of living has placed an additional risk of theft by employees and contractors, as well as opportunistic thieves. By using diesel dye and placing warnings of its use, you are sending a clear message that this is your fuel.
Access equipment, like cranes, exists on the very periphery of my field of interest and expertise. I use the term expertise advisedly. I know it's there, but I just don't have much to do with it. However, while the mainline construction equipment sector is falling over itself to electrify mini excavators, telehandlers, and compact loaders, a similar evolution is taking place in the access space. Take a look at this.
Hi everybody, and welcome to Yanmar Crawler's Viadana headquarters. It's a lovely sunny day, and I'm going to be giving you a sneak peek at what we're going to be presenting at Bauma. Here behind me, we've got the GB 1890 Primo. That is an Italian word for first. I'm going to be telling you in a few moments exactly why we decided to call it that way. GB 1890 Primo. Why is it the Primo? Because this is the first machine we're launching full electric. This is a full electric machine with a lithium battery pack and added bonus, electric drive. This makes the GB 1890 Primo extremely fast. We're talking about 4.5 kilometers per hour fast. An 18-meter working height machine. Now, Primo, why is it the first? Well, because this is the first time we've put a fixed undercarriage on a Gibi. As you know, Gibi usually has a retractable undercarriage going from less width to more width. Here we have a fixed width. This has allowed us to give you more ground clearance and be able to work in conditions where you need that extra space. But let me show you something more. We're talking about a fully extractable battery pack. So ask me what the autonomy on the GB 1890 Primo is? Infinite. Just change the battery pack and you're ready to go. But when we thought about recharging, we thought to give you the best possible options out there. So that means you have a standard 110, 220 volt outlet, but at the same time, you can use an EV station and charge the battery pack directly. And that gives you multiple options, and it can easily allow you to recharge your battery whilst, for example, you're having lunch. If you're familiar with our Gibi range, you know we have an anti-collision ultrasonic system to ensure safety for the operator. Now, when we designed the GB 1890 Primo, we were thinking about giving it another first that will help with driving the machine at height. We've put an ultrasonic anti-collision system on the ground. That means that in these positions, you will find sensors that will protect against potholes or against any sort of terrain movements or differences that could potentially lead to anything that is dangerous. With a maximum 10-meter working outreach, the GB 1890 Primo will be a very performant piece of kit.
That really is a huge amount of tech that's crammed into a machine that effectively just lifts men and materials up and down a bit. Also, love the way the Italians say primo. Just me, maybe. Let's go with one of these. I'm very aware of the fact that this show has rather been taken over post-Bauma by Bauma content, and that Demolition has taken a bit of a back seat. Well, even though we're going back to Bauma very, very shortly, it is time to put that right. But this is not just any demolition. This is offshore demolition, and it's being carried out by a true master of the art, AF Gripen, or AF Decom, as most of us know them. Take a look at this.
We are here in the southern North Sea, where we are removing 11 old gas platforms.
In the last couple of years we have prepared the topsides, and now we get to do the bit that everybody notices, which is taking them out of the water and finally recycling them.
What is special about this project is that we are removing 4 platforms in a short amount of time. We did a lot of preparations in advance so that we can conduct this removal campaign in a very efficient manner.
We have had good communication with Bauma, and we have been able to make one team. I think the culture you see in Bauma and AF is quite similar. We have an open door policy. If there is an issue, we go and discuss it and we find a solution. So that's, I think, is the main key that this was a successful project.
It was a milestone for the project yesterday night. We successfully set down the jacket and the topside, the fourth of this campaign and the last one. So we sea fastened it and we were ready to sail within 3 hours after sea fastening was completed.
This project has been very successful so far. We've had no accidents, no injuries, no illnesses, and safety as always is our priority. You get a great sense of achievement when you manage to pull it all together and everybody goes home safe with the job complete.
I think that the key to success for AF is that we always have the focus on safety first, and that all the engineers, they are able to both work on land and also offshore, so that they understand like the whole process of the project.
It's a really good feeling when we have the topside and jacket on board, and we've given the area back to nature. We have mapped this platform for hazardous material, and now we will lift and transport it to shore, where it all will be sorted and 95% will be recycled or reused.
Yeah, demolition is challenging enough, but stirring variables like weather, the tides, and the sheer logistics of working offshore, and that challenge becomes even greater. So hats off to the team at AF Gruppen. Fantastic job. Now, before we get on to the next bit of the show, I'm going to throw this up from Gary Muirhead, who says, now that's a beard. It was a beard. Speaking of beards, I watched back, and I've just put a link to it in the chat. I watched back as part of our conversation about construction equipment sales. I filmed a film about 5 years ago for Diggers and Dozers, and it is called The Lost Art of Construction Equipment Sales. I've posted a link to it in the chat. I hope you can see that because it's showing an error message at the moment. But that was back when my face hadn't been fixed after my accident. I lost an enormous amount of weight and the beard wasn't present. There was a bit of stubble, but no beard. If you'd like to see what I looked like 5 years ago, it's not pretty. You can go and take a look using the link that's hopefully in the chat right about now. Okay, it is time to travel back to roughly this time last week as we take another look through the electronic scrapbook known as Messer Munchen Memories. Now, I was going to ask you to try to imagine a Venn diagram, basically ahead of our next clip. But then I figured I'd create one for you. And that's what it looks like. As you can see, the Venn diagram describes the need to keep dust down, but how that needs to be balanced and offset against the need to preserve both energy and water. Also, as you can see, the point at which all of these various specific needs intersect is precisely where DEHACO operates. Need some proof? Well, I've got that for you. Have a look at this.
Absolutely fantastic. It's the place to be. It's the mecca of all demolition recycling tools in the world. So yeah, it's fantastic to be here. Yeah, obviously we've got our dust suppression, dust control units. We've got a full range of sorting grabs, compaction equipment, breakers, and of course our scrap shears, magnets, everything for the demolition recycling world. Yeah, this is our star because it is the most energy efficient dust control unit on the market today. Firstly is our method of creating a droplet. Traditionally, machines use nozzles. Nozzles require high pressure pumps to create a fine droplet. We have this is the rotor. This is effectively a disc that spins at a very high RPM, and that cuts the water into fine droplets. It's fully adjustable, so we can create 3 different droplet sizes. Nozzles have very, very fine orifices in, which can get blocked by calcium, dirt in the water, rust in the pipework, and then renders them useless. That means that every day they require cleaning. The rotor is almost impossible to block. The smallest orifice in the entire system is 3 millimeters, so anything suspended in the water can pass straight through without any problems. The main reason that we can reduce the power we require is because the fan speed, the maximum throw, is fully adjustable. We have 3 settings, so we're going to choose the maximum throw that the machine is able to do. For example, on the first day of your work site, when the building is very tall or the site is expansive, as the site becomes smaller or the buildings become shorter, you don't need to blow, you don't need the range. So you can turn that down and you can reduce the power flow. Just between the settings on this particular model and its highest setting with the maximum throw, maximum water usage, you can reduce that by 62.5% by going down to its shortest setting and using just 500 litres of water per hour. The water usage consumption is fully adjustable. If you need a lot of water on site for whatever your application is, we can supply it. If you don't, if you want to keep it tidy and clean, and you don't have the water supply, this machine still works perfectly. The rotor is the unique feature that we have. It reduces downtime, it reduces cleaning costs, it reduces power consumption. We have other solutions that can be offered with diesel generators. You're using less diesel per day, and you're using less energy.
A huge thanks to Dan Smith, who bizarrely was one of 2 Dan Smiths that I met last week. Also thanks to the entire Dehaco team who gave us such a warm welcome at Bauma last week. Incidentally, they very kindly also gave us some giveaways, including a couple of hats and a couple of industrial strength tape measures. Terrified my dogs, they did. And we're planning to give them away on our big pre-Christmas giveaway show, 7 p.m. on Wednesday, the 23rd of November. So watch this space for that. Just going to say a very quick goodbye to our friend Mick. Gentlemen, have a great weekend. Off to Bruce for a long weekend. Would love to say a dirty weekend. My time of life, I'm happy with a cheese sandwich and the company I'm going with. I can only relate. Catch you next week, Mark. Have a good one. Have a great time, Mick. Bruce, lovely city. I'm sure you'll have an absolute blast. Now, I realise that you're all watching this show and admiring my professionalism. You're gazing in awe at how I never hit the wrong button, how I never trip over a word or stumble over a sentence. The truth is that speaking to a camera is not for everyone, as the team from Yanmar found out to their cost at Bauma 2022.
Il faut... Ah non! Ah, j'étais presque!
Don't forget. J'ai mal à la gorge.
Hydraulic flow. Faut pas me distraire. Wait.
And make...
Hello, this is... Can I just continue?
To adapt to our EMEA market. All. Oui.
Il y a le monsieur qui me faisait des...
Sorry.
Des hand. Ça fait tellement naturel, c'est hand. Si tu veux, je monte ma main, comme ça ils comprendront.
Additions, catalogue. Déjà, j'ai tout dans la tête avec Anne qui ouvre la bouche. Oh putain, je dois être à 27 de tension là.
Popcorn box. And get your popcorn.
Autonomy of provide. Non, c'est pas bon. Ça va?
And get your popcorn box. Non, j'y arriverai pas. Hein.
Sorry. We're just shooting video. Yeah. Non mais forcément, moi j'étais bien tout à l'heure. Je vais prendre de la bière, moi.
Ben alors, comment ça va passer? Tu poses la question?
Okay.
So what do they...
Même quand elle parle pas, je l'entends. We have
1 week price, which is the... sorry.
Area, you can...
Attends, 2 secondes. Ah! For several applications.
I know.
Ah, c'est bon. Pourquoi j'ai changé? Mais là, j'étais bien tout à l'heure. Tu vois, j'ai la pression quoi, Yann, je sais pas pourquoi.
I feel your pain, Yanmar people. I feel your pain. A couple of comments that have come in there. Jim Turner says, they have my sympathy. I struggle on camera talking my own language. Yeah, it is worth remembering that a lot of these guys were actually doing those videos in a second language. Totally right. We had a few that few interviews that I did, not the ones that you've seen so far, but we did had a few. And in actual fact, with one, I actually had to lie about the fact that the camera was on just to get the guy to relax. Nick Drew has said, I'd love to see a compilation of all my cock-ups over the years, and that's what it would sound like. What I would say is all of my cock-ups are readily available because we broadcast them live. And this is just one of those things that I love about this show. So Steve Williamson, we pointed a camera at Steve and his sidekick Ed on the Kinsoffer stand last week. That'll be coming to you very, very soon. Me and Ed were shitting it, he says. Then we started speaking and we couldn't shut up. Now, bearing in mind he's just said he was shitting it, he then goes on to say, I find it hard not to swear. Steve, listen, this show is a constant struggle against me swearing a lot, I can promise you. Right, I'm going to draw a veil over all of this in just a second, so let's go with this.
Sorry to interrupt the guy with the funny glasses, but if you're enjoying this video, please hit the like button as it helps our channel. Or, better still, share this video with a friend or a colleague. Thank you. Right, back to Beardy.
Right, that pretty much wraps up the main part of this morning show. It also wraps up this week as well. So I'm going to roll the outro in just a second before leaping gazelle-like over into the chat to see what you're all saying today. If you can't stick around for that, then please stay safe, look after yourself, your family, your friends, and your colleagues. Have a great day. Have a great weekend. And thanks for watching. But if you do have the time and the inclination, I'll see you on the other side of this.